Hello everyone, this is the Mgtow Cowboy. Greetings and salutations. This evening I want to have a little fireside chat with all of you, and I want to introduce a topic for discussion, or you could say a topic for debate. I was recently on a live stream with many other Mgtow and Red Pill men. That was graciously hosted by none other than Hammerhand. There was a gentleman who made a video, I believe directed towards me, and he was critical. It appears that he was critical of some of the things that I had to say concerning a topic that I'd like to debate right now. So this video will be a shout-out video. This video will be a shout-out video, also a commentary video, also a response video. So it's going to be a response, a commentary, and a shout-out video all in one. So this video is a shout-out to none other than Angler Mgtow. Again, I'll say that again, Angler Mgtow. If you guys are looking for fresh Mgtow content, please go over to Angler Mgtow. His channel is up and running. I did not know that he had a channel. I did not know that he was making content as of late, but he is. It is unfortunate that I learned that he's making content under these circumstances, but that's okay. That's okay. That's totally okay. And I think, and I'll explain as we go along why I think that that's okay. So yeah. Anyway, I was making comments telling people within the community that I think it's okay for Mgtow men to what's the nice way of saying it, to purchase the services of escorts, or that is to say, in a more straightforward way, to pay for prostitutes, or you could say to pay for pussy. How about that? Sorry to come off as a little crude there. You know, these are very adult topics. So I'll say that again. These are very adult topics. I don't make content for children. So anyway, I believe that it's okay for Mgtow, if they want to make time in their life. I'm not saying it should be their number one. I'm not saying it should be their number one reason for living, or it should be a top priority. But yes, as a pastime, or as a, call it whatever you want, a fetish, a pastime, a hobby, a desire, whatever you want to call it, I believe that it's okay for men to pursue sex. And if you got to pay for it, I am not against that. There was a time in my life when I was very against it. I thought it was wrong. I thought it was morally wrong. And then, frankly, I went through a, I guess you can call it like a catharsis. I went through a catharsis. I liken it to like the phoenix, the mythical bird, the bird of fire, the phoenix. It sort of died, and it from its own ashes, it rose up. It came to life again. It rose from the dead, from its own ashes. I think I went through. There was a time when I thought that men paying for sex was wrong. For the duration of this fireside chat, I will call it prostitution. I'll just call it prostitution. There was a time when I thought that prostitution was wrong. I no longer think that. I went through a catharsis. Basically, I realized that men are we as a species, we as a sex, men, society itself is embroiled in a gender war. Okay, women are at war with men, and yeah, maybe the ideal is for men to be married off to women, and for men and women to be paired off, and to be monogamous. But as of right now, that's not the case, and I think it's mostly because women are at war with men, and they want to tear down what we can call society. So, but yeah, that being said, you know, as of right now, I openly promote that men should be able to purchase sex. Okay? And anyway, so I'm going to take clips from 2 separate videos from Angler Mgtow, and I'm going to debate this issue. I'm going to add commentary in a debate style fashion, and I'm going to try to make my point. And I do ask that any and all people that are that have an opinion, that have a strong opinion on this matter, please feel free to leave a comment. I actually see this as a good thing. This is I don't see this as a fight. I don't want it to be a fight between again my esteemed colleague Angler Mgtow. Please go check out his channel. I see this as a debate. I see this as almost like these are growing pains. Mgtow is expanding. We are starting to, we're thinking about many things. And this is one issue. Sex is a huge issue. Sex is a ginormous issue, and it affects everyone. And you know, they're just, you know, point by point, as certain issues arise, it's okay for them to be debated. And it's okay for people to try to build a consensus for one idea or over another. Or, you know, it's okay for people to try to convince other people when an issue comes up, if it's good to go this way or that way, or what to think on any given issue. So I see this as a good thing. This is like a debate. This is needed. This sharpens Mgtow, if you will. If you guys, you know, after all this, if you have an opinion, please, again, I ask that you, yeah, please feel free to leave a comment. I want to hear what people think about this. All right, so here we go. This is a shout out and a commentary and a response video to Angler Mgtow. Here we go. I'll try to go like point by point, maybe 2 or 3 points at a time. We'll see.
Hey, brothers.
Hey, what's up, Angler?
Now, purchasing escorts, soliciting prostitution, that's not Mgtow. I don't care how you argue it. I don't care. It's not Mgtow, okay?
Okay, so purchasing, okay, so paying for prostitutes, according to him, is not Mgtow. My response to that is, says who? Says who? And I ask anyone, says who? And for that matter, who is the authority? Who is the appointed Mgtow authority on these matters? Surely not I. I would never claim authority in Mgtow. I offer up my opinion on certain issues, but that's about it. I don't tell people that they're Mgtow or not Mgtow based on pretty much anything, except of course 2 hard and fast rules, right? No marriage and no cohabitation. No marriage and no cohabitation. Okay, okay.
And when you come out here on a public forum and say, buy a hooker if you need to, you're not fucking Mgtow. That's terrible advice. And one of 2 things also happens there. Number 1, you either don't care about the people, the young men, even boys. I've seen high school boys up in here at times. You don't care what they see. Or number 2, you really think that is good advice for young boys, adolescents, and young men.
Okay, let me stop it right there. Okay, so he had a couple things to say. He said, yeah, so was it talking in a public forum or something? Okay, so talking in a public forum. So bringing up, so thinking that paying for prostitution, having my own independent thoughts that paying for prostitution, that's wrong, right? And to consider myself a Mgtow while doing that, that's wrong. And then coming on a public forum and disseminating this message, spreading this message, that's wrong, right? So and this is going to become important later on. I'll show you guys. So thinking independently, that's wrong. Talking independently about these independent ideas that I have, that's wrong. And then I guess he tries to conflate, he says, oh my gosh, you must not care about these young men. And then he says young men, and then he also includes young boys and adolescents. Oh no. To that I say, oh no, sir. My message is for young men. So I would say men of the collegiate level and older, men who are 18 years and older. No, I don't make content for children, okay? For young boys. He specifically used the term young boys and adolescents. No, please do not conflate. I'll just say it again. My message is for young men, okay? In fact, I think this issue has been spoken upon before. I've heard more than one distinguished Mgtow within the community specifically say, as a general rule, Mgtow should not espouse Mgtow values to children. Or I think the term I heard Hammerhand say he does not think it's a good idea for Mgtow to push, to espouse our value system to minors. Of course, minors being, that's a word that encapsulates both adolescents and young boys, right? So, right, and I agree with that. I think it's okay to talk to a young man who's 18 or older, a legal adult, 18 or older, about these issues. Yes, I do think it's okay, but not young boys and not adolescents. So please do not conflate the two of those. I categorically disagree with that. So, moving on.
And what works for you, okay?
Yeah, and maybe it'll work for other people.
But it seems to me that something like that should be kept private.
Who says?
But
who says? Who gets to decide that? Who gets to decide that? Don't get me wrong. I would not share. This isn't like, Globo Chomo hour. This isn't like a drag queen story time. This isn't like drag queen story hour at, preschool. I'm not trying to do that. I'm talking to men who are legal adults.
Don't keep it private, okay?
I disagree. Again, my channel is dedicated to providing a counter narrative to gynocentrism. What I see, I think that the concept that it's wrong for a man to pay for sex, I think the concept of a man paying for sex is androcentric. It's something that favors the man. In fact, I think that men are taught, primarily in schooling and primarily through religiosity, that's wrong. Prostitution is wrong. You shouldn't do that. That's wrong. But maybe it's not wrong. Maybe it's right.
So much to the point that you've met men in real life. They've seen your face, but you still think that, Mgtow and prostitution should mix. Well, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't.
Well, I'm here to tell you that it does. And, I don't claim to be the authority. I would never claim to be the authority like that. You're happy to build a consensus of men that are against it. I'm trying to build a consensus of men that are for it. But I think that I have the right to say what I want to say. I think I have the right to say what I want to say. And it appears that not everyone thinks that. Some people are against freedom of speech when it comes to this issue. So. Okay, speaking kind of slow.
You are not a Mgtow. Okay.
Sir, I'm not a Mgtow? Why not? Why not? Who gets to decide that? Who gets to decide? Who's the authority? Come on, man. That one hurt. That one hurt a little bit. In fact, you know what? Let me let me say this. I was thinking about whether I'm going to say this or not. I'm going to say it. I'll have you know, good sir. I'm going to speak a little vaguely right now. I'm going to speak a little vaguely. But anyone who's listening, you're going to be able to read between the lines. Angler Mgtow, good sir, I will have you know, there have been other men, esteemed members of the community, who have related to me, who have confided in me, that they tacitly support my view on this issue. Furthermore, I will have you know that there are, again, esteemed members of the community who have confided in me, who have related to me that they have purchased the services of a prostitute. Lastly, I will say to you, not in the sorry, I'm purposely trying to speak a little cryptic. Not too long ago, I was personally contacted over the phone by certain people that you might know, specifically asking me if I can procure this type of proclivity for certain patriarchs in the community. So what I'm trying to say to you is, if you understand what I'm saying, are you sure that everyone agrees with you? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Moving on.
So perhaps take the Mgtow off of your handle. That is not Mgtow. Buying a hooker, in my estimation, is the largest example of simping that I've ever seen in my life.
I disagree. Okay, so my argument to that would be the exact opposite. I would say that purchasing a prostitute is anti-simping. And I want you to think about it. I want you to hear me out. Why is it simping? When I think of a simp, I think of a man who bows down to gynocentrism. I think of a man that follows the format of what you can call the power structure, where women benefit over men, where women get what they want and men don't get what they want. What do men want? Men want sex. If you want sex from a woman, I have no problem with how can I call it, reciprocity, or like the art of the deal, the transaction. Value for value. I have no problem. I admit it. I'm a capitalist pig. I believe in free market economics. If you think about it, in a way, a man and a woman, independent of the government getting involved, marriage, the man says he wants one thing, the woman says she wants another thing, the two of them talk, they communicate this idea, they negotiate a price, or they negotiate whatever it is they're exchanging, and they make a fair and equitable exchange. At least the two of them at that time think so. I don't think that that's simpish. When I think of simpish, I think of a man that is gynocentric. Getting what you want, men getting what they want is not gynocentric. It's androcentric. It's male-centered, not female-centered. I think we're brainwashed. I think humanity, I think the Western world is brainwashed. Should men and women pair off and form monogamous couples? Yes, I think so. I think that that's the ideal. But women, right now, they're at war with that idea. They're overthrowing it. We are embroiled in a gender war, sir, and you need to get with the times. That's sort of my message to not just you, but anyone who thinks this way. And I used to think this way. I would liken it to here's like maybe an analogy, if I can offer an analogy. Imagine you are like let's say like a pacifist in a war. Okay, let's say you're like a Quaker. okay? And you're a Quaker, you're a pacifist, you would never join the military, you would call upon, what is that called? I forget what it's called, when you don't believe in joining the military. You don't believe in violence. So you get an exemption. You don't have to join the military. But let's say something happens to you, okay? Let's say, I don't know, some foreign country, some foreign army invades your country. It invades your state. The army passes through your town or your city, and whatever, it kills your family, it rapes your women, and it kills your men. You might start thinking differently. You might say, you know what? Maybe this whole non-aggression piece, maybe this whole, what's it called, a conscientious objector, I think. This whole, me not fighting back, maybe this doesn't work. Maybe this doesn't work. And then, armed with this new knowledge that these people will destroy you, even if you want to coexist with them, then you learn, oh, wait a minute, I can't just sit this one out. There is no coexisting with this. We're at war here. And then you change your mentality. You say it is okay. Think about it. Any invading army, right? You can say that it's, you don't want to fight, but, if you don't fight, you're just going to lose. That's kind of how I see what's going on. We're embroiled in a gender war. Okay, so I think the way that you think needs to change. That's what I think. Yeah. So to finish that idea, basically, yeah, probably it's a good idea that we stay monogamous. That is the ideal. If you think that, which I think you do, I think that. But that's not how it is. There's a concerted effort to totally destroy that in our society. And they're winning. They're winning. So we need to change our tactics. And this is one way to do it. I think that women dole out sex. Essentially, I think you're coming from a good place. I think you think that like men and women should love each other and we should be each other's companion, and sex should be almost like this like symbiotic, physical but also emotional connection between a man and a woman. And if you think that, I think that you're right. I used to think that. I still think that, but that's not how it is right now, because we're in a gender war. Okay? We're in a gender war, but at the same time, but women are still handing out sex. But they're doling it out. It's like sex now is a commodity. Not because men wanted it this way, because women wanted it this way, because they know they can not just they can weaponize it at the same time. They can commoditize it and they can weaponize it, and that's how it is, and that's the reality. And you're going to get with that or you're not. And I'm sorry. Maybe I'm evil. Maybe I'm just more libertine. Maybe I'm more worldly wise or pragmatic. I don't know, but that's how I see it. Okay, moving on. He's talking kind of slow. He's making his points.
I don't care how you justify it or how you try to justify it. It will never be justifiable to me.
Got it.
I can't speak for anybody else.
No, you can't. You can't.
And anybody listening to this, if you think prostitution is okay,
leave your comments
and you call
below.
yourself Mgtow, you're not a fucking Mgtow.
Who says?
You're simply not.
He says so.
That's not how it works.
That's not. Who decides? That's not how it works. He decides how it works. He has the authority. How he has the authority, I don't know. Maybe he claims authority on this issue, in this matter. He claims authority over me, and he may be right. I may be wrong, and he may in fact be an authority over. He may be bigger than me. Just go down the line. Bigger than me, taller than me, smarter than me, better educated than me, better looking than me, more worldly wise, better traveled than me. He may have more money than me. He may be more physically capable than me. I don't know. But I just don't know what gives anyone the authority. You want to build a consensus? Build a consensus. I have no problem with that. I welcome that. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a consensus.
Now, with all of this redefining of words and all that. And from what I've gathered, a lot of people have been trying to redefine what Mgtow is long before I got here, long before, several of you ever got here. Prostitution, and that, call it what you will, escort, okay, that's minimizing the word prostitution. They're whores. They're
whores. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I purposely I try to use flowery language. But yeah, you're right. If you want, I can be vulgar. They're hoes. They're whores. Yeah. All right. Does that make anyone feel better? I don't know. Whatever. We know what we're talking about.
Prostitutes. They're peddling their ass for money.
That's right. You got it.
And any man that pays for that is not a Mgtow.
Wrong. Why? Who says? Who decides that? Who's the authority?
The only thing that you're doing is perpetuating the problem.
What's the problem? What is the problem? I'll tell you what I think the problem is. I think the problem is gynocentrism. The reason why I call myself, whatever you want to call it, a Mgtow,